I'm sorry, did you say Princess Peach? That's not Peach. I'm not Peach and Daisy.
Aww.
And then we got Luigi over here too.
That's a
good question. Mario's missing.
Mario's sleeping, I guess.
So he's doing his second movie without Luigi because he saw Sonic 3 succeed in the box office. So like he wanted out to do Sonic, but like nobody can stand up to Donut and the pretzel lady. I worship them all. So anyway, my name is Zoe Wheeler. Well, Zoe Robotnik now because we got married to Ivo. But you can call me Blossom because that's who I am today. Okay, and then let's go down the road here.
Yep, my name is Isaiah Rothrock. Some people call me Zay, but for this con, you can just call me Prince Daisy. I'm here alongside these three jokers who decided to drag me to this con, and I couldn't be happier about that.
You got this.
Nope. Okay. Dean?
Oh, I'll go, please. So my name is Dean. I'm Wildgo Dean. I'm him, and I've been going to cons since 2015. But before cons, I went to pharmacy, medical or healthcare conferences. I'm a pharmacist, so I have a lot of experience to share, and I'm looking forward to being part of this panel.
He's a medics officer. He's our medic.
Yes.
And my name is Jason, also known as Jehovah. I'm a fun person who's been here going to cons for quite a while now, and it's just something I love to be doing here. Just being here, enjoying cons, and finding other folks who are enjoying stuff like this as well.
Fun person. Yeah. You're a killjoy.
What?
Yeah, you're a killjoy. Stop lying. Anyway, so I'm assuming this is y'all first con. All three of y'all. This your second? Second, yeah, that's still fun. It's first.
Come on in, folks.
Come on in, everybody.
Come on in.
Good morning.
So like, this is your third, fourth? Okay, alright, so, alright. That wig is banging. And yours too. I like your hair, yep. Love it. Well, I mean, still applies. I mean, you need a refresher course. This is you. So, you're at con for the first time, wondering what to do, what to expect, what you shouldn't do. You're overwhelmed, confused, or you don't know where it starts. Maybe it's a large crowds, cosplayers, all that jazz. And this panel is for, those people whose first time is here, or you can get a refresher course like, couple, 1, 2, 50 people here. Yeah, I mean, welcome. All right, so move along. So what we're going to share with you today is what to expect, some tips, and some stuff to avoid. And what should you expect? And who has crowds? Is that me or?
I'll take it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Oh wait, it was Isaiah's, right? No, it was you.
Yes, so,
sorry.
all right, so cons come in different sizes, okay? So this con is more like a medium, so you're still gonna deal with crowds. This is actually my second Blurred con. I've gone to so many. I live in New York City. We have something called New York Comic Con. Yes! I'm from Queens, so we have over 200,000 people. What do you think of that? That's a lot of people. Whew. I've been to a con where there was only 100 people. So it really depends. So the bigger the crowd, does it necessarily mean a good con? Yes or no? What do you think?
No.
Exactly. Just because one con has all the amenities and all that doesn't necessarily mean it's better. It's very subjective. So every con will have crowds, lines, and the hustle and bustle from here to there. So planning is very important, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And that being said, it's important to arrive early, super early in the morning. And it's not just an hour early. So I think New York Comic Con started around 10 a.m. and I would come at 7 in the morning, and there's already one chunk of like big lines already. So some people maybe having a tent there. Who knows? I haven't seen it yet. So it's very important to plan ahead.
That was you.
Wait.
That was you.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Noise.
So when it comes to, guess what? The thing is, no matter what the size is, you're going to expect to have some noise beyond what you may be used to. Especially for those who may have some sensitive hearing, I really want to make sure that you're aware of what to expect. Especially if you're going to like the dance parties, raves. Because some of the cons also have some of those, so you have to be really ready for all the loud music you might be experiencing as well. And also expect to scream and shout a lot, because guess what? You're going to be excited to see some folks that you haven't seen, whether it's like I said, celebrities, guest people you're going to see. You might be very excited to see them, or you just got something very excited in the moment, like you experience something in the moment. So just keep in mind that it's loud and in the con hall. So.
Oh yeah. Alright, so that is fandoms next. Good.
All right. Now I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you guys all about the different fandoms. So when it comes to conventions, you will see a ton of different movies, games, anime crossover. Kind of like the four of us right now. You got Super Mario, you got Powerpuff Girls, and
Ashura.
Yes, we got Demon Slayer here as well. And on top of that, lots of people, including yours truly, will also do live action role play or LARPing. We'll simply enter the con. We might not be in costume, but if we are in costume already, we'll simply immediately be in character. And sometimes when you're doing this in character, people will simply treat you as if you're your character and ask you various questions. Like the first time I actually did this back in Animazement in North Carolina, some people asked me some questions regarding Princess Peach, Luigi, and I simply replied in character. Though I did tweak it a bit, because as you can see, while I am technically Princess Daisy, I am also Prince Daisy. Thank you very much. But in the end, you should think of cons where you see tons of different characters as essentially these little
Wreck-It Ralph.
Think of it like Wreck-It Ralph or crossovers, where all these characters are just simply hanging out together and having a good time.
Boom. Oh, and fun, but not too much fun. Alright, so some tips. Yeah, I got, hey, Koro Sensei is fitting for this. Care for your health.
Very, very important.
Super important.
So I'll take care of this one because I'm a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So it's always important that you have to take care of your health. I cannot emphasize this enough. So at the last con, TaxuCon, which is across the Potomac, we'll talk about water actually a little bit. So that's a good foreshadowing. I had a friend who actually got diagnosed with the flu a few days prior, who got very upset. So he could not make it. If you come to the con with the flu, I'm gonna find you.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna start infecting other people. So you have to stay home if you're sick. That's number one. Number two, there are people who take medications, myself included. So those who are diabetics, those who have mental health related. Some people take medications for anxiety, for depression. Some people take medications for a lot of things. All right. So it's important to not forget it. If you're type 1 diabetic, or if you need insulin, don't forget your insulin, for example. If you forget your insulin, you're screwed.
Yep.
All right. And other thing is when you go party, which we'll talk about a little bit, alcohol interacts with a lot of the medications. So it's very, very, very important to watch what you're doing. Best of all, if it's best to avoid alcohol, avoid it, okay? There are other drinks as well, and you can still party.
Oh yeah, and then like one thing to add, Jason and I, Luigi and I, we caught COVID 2 years ago at this con.
Yeah.
He caught it first. He caught it on Thursday. I caught it on Saturday. So yeah, so COVID was already like circulating before we walked in.
And just keep in mind, it is nothing negative about the con itself. It just happened,
Yeah.
especially considering the time of how things were going at the time. So there's nothing against the con itself, because I will say this: the con did their best to try to be retroactive about it,
Correct.
especially when the badges that year were masked.
Yep.
So, like I said, that's something I will. Nothing. There's nothing against the con. Against the con did their best to be
Yep.
retroactive about it, and I will give the props for that.
Yeah, it's just that you can still do like hand-to-hand contact and stuff.
I think someone has a question over there.
Yes, sir.
I will say, is it hard because I actually take a break.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep, that's exactly right. Take a break.
Oh yeah.
I was at Pat's Con a couple of weeks ago, and I will say because of how crowded it was, I was standing a little too much and didn't realize until I was starting class.
We're about to talk about that too. Just to tell you.
Yeah, wanted to add something. Who's ever heard of roofing?
Good boy.
This is important. You know what happens, right? So you'll be having your drink, and then all of a sudden someone will just put a little something in there. So you gotta be careful. So I have the water bottle, which will segue to the next one. So it's closed, so I'll hide it so no one will just put anything in it. All right. So stay hydrated.
Here we go. So, like I said, and while it's good to be hydrated, no, we don't mean sodas, juice, or alcohol. We mean actual water. You definitely want to. I kid you not. In our room, I have a whole 35 pack of spring water in there. Yeah, like I said, I'm serious about wanting to make sure I keep myself hydrated. Especially because, unfortunately, bad horror story I have to admit. Now, granted, I wasn't there for this, but one of my friends was there at the con, a local con that I like to go to, NecoCon in Hampton, Virginia. So last year, apparently, they were having some issues to the point where they had no water stations, and it was not good because apparently, from what I heard, several folks caught up getting pneumonia.
Oh, yeah.
So, like I said, it is very, very important, especially if you are wearing heavy cosplays and you know you're gonna be sweating. You definitely want to make sure you are remaining hydrated the whole time. Yes.
Right over there.
Yeah,
throughout
there's a couple, like several. There are like several around the hotel, which I applaud BlurCon for still doing. NecoCon's excuse for not having them last year, according to Jason's friend, budget cuts.
Yeah.
Excuses.
But still, like I said, but even regardless, even if the con doesn't provide it, make sure you have to make sure you take care of yourself. Because you yourself are important, so make sure you are keeping yourself hydrated best as possible.
Yep. Want to add something? Energy drinks is not how you stay hydrated.
We're going to that.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay, so that is who's. Oh wait, that was
That's
me.
you.
That's
Yeah.
me.
Yep, you're
Oh,
in charge.
be careful with these drinks. It's okay to have a glass or two of alcohol. Granted, I do during a con, but only like 1 or 2 drinks. That's it. And that being said, please drink responsibly and make sure you're over 21 because underage drinking, it's against the law. You could go to jail.
Or you can get hurt.
Yeah, you get hurt, you can go to jail, and then you gotta call like your parents, your friends, you gotta get bail money, all that stuff, and you're gonna be in a more financial bind, so bad stuff. Caffeine may give you that jolt you need to enjoy the weekend, but it's gonna wear off when Sunday or sometimes Monday comes around. And hey, trust me, I'm guilty. I used to be guilty when I was like younger. I used to just pump myself full of like coffee like every few hours during con. And I realized, I shouldn't be doing that.
Also, if you're pregnant or going to be pregnant or you're breastfeeding, no alcohol.
Yeah.
All right. If you're taking medications, no alcohol. especially with some medication that affect the liver. It's very important. I know it's a little advanced, but yeah, in many cases, no alcohol because it can affect your health.
Or if you're on like oxygen and all that stuff, yeah, definitely. Alright, that's Isaiah's.
All right. So next we're going to talk about good nutrition at the con. You need to make sure you need to make sure when it comes to the various food vendors you see that you eat right. Fruits, veggies, everything within the good food groups. You can splurge and have some fun if you happen to see some place that has some good junk food or maybe things like chicken wings and whatnot. But it's good to have a wide, balanced diet at a con. I know I learned this specifically when during my first couple of years at Amazement, mainly because they serve food not only inside the con but also outside the con. So you gotta check all over, see what they have to offer in terms of food trucks, especially if there's any kind of strips, like there's a strip outside here that has some good Indian food, that might be good. But in general, you need to just make sure you're eating healthy so you can enjoy every single day. You don't want to eat a bunch of junk food or anything too greasy on Friday. It might help you get through Saturday, especially if you keep that way. But by Sunday, you might feel pretty dang lagged down to the point where you might just take a nap or something. I thankfully haven't had this experience, but I have had to stop myself and think a few times, especially when I saw various ice cream vendors. It was so interesting.
We actually had Indian food yesterday. It's really healthy. I do recommend it. It's called Rasa, which is on that strip. It's on that strip with the Montana Grill and all that stuff. It's really good. He was food gassing over it, you know, like food wars and whatnot. And then we followed up with Cold Stone because Indian food is spicy. But like I said, go off what you said earlier. They got food trucks outside as well. So like in the con.
If you're full, like 80% full, stop.
Exactly.
Don't stop yourself.
Do not go further. If you're already feeling full from something, that's usually body telling you to stop right there before you go too far.
Being full makes you miserable anyway. So like you don't want to like be full. You don't want to eat until you're full because that's how the weight gain comes in and all that stuff.
And if I want to just quick add on, just don't depend on the con for how you're gonna eat your food. You need to prepare yourself ahead of time. Bring your own little healthy snacks, so vegetables and fruits to bring along. That way you can keep them on with you, and then if you just need a little something, you can have it with you already. So.
You save money that way.
That's true too.
That's what the convention center allows it. Some convention centers don't allow outside food. Go ahead.
So pro tip is most people will let you bring an empty container. So you can fill up your water cup when you enter the con, because water be like $50 a bottle at the concession. So bring your own empty cup.
No, about that.
They said no outside drinks. They ain't saying no outside empty containers.
That's
True.
correct. Exactly.
And you can get those in the pouches too.
Real slick.
Anyways.
Oh, okay. Wait, I already talked about the. Oh wait, we're all talking about this. Okay. Yes. All right. So this is my favorite. This is my favorite slide, because it is a tragedy across conventions. And it's sad that we have to talk about this because this should have been learned from when we were kids. Good hygiene. Like, there's a nursery rhyme based off of it. Rub dub dub and all that. So please shower or bathe. Conflict is a danger. So do it for us. It's for us, and just please wash yourself. That introduce soap. Put the soap on first, then the water, and then continue on. Do not use deodorant, body spray, Axe, etc. Not substitutes. In fact, they make you smell worse. And for those who wear cosplays, recommend you wear 1 or 2 per day. But like, I can't stress this enough. Please, please, at least take at least 1 shower or bath a day. Please, now me, I do it at night, and I just follow up in the morning, a real quick wash, and boom.
I wake up early in the morning just so everything's all fresh from the beginning.
I usually use the showers similarly to my friend Zoe here. I do them late at night just so I'm good and fresh in the morning. One thing that I also recommend when it comes to wearing cosplay is try not to wear your cosplay throughout the entire day. I recommend, especially if you only have one cosplay like I do half and half. Do like either the first half of the day you wear the cosplay and then switch into casual clothing, especially if you plan on doing any kind of physical activity at the con, or if you're feeling that you're gonna do it early in the con, wear it in the latter half of the day. I also hygiene in my opinion also applies to keeping your cosplay clean and whatnot. I sadly have not had any sort of malfunctions or kept any stains on my cosplays, but I will say this: if you happen to get any kind of food stains or liquids on the cosplay, if possible, go back to wherever you're staying and get that taken care of immediately. Because while not with this cosplay, I had an issue one time where I accidentally spilled some sauce on a cosplay, and luckily, by the grace of God, I somehow was able to scrub that off with just some good old elbow grease and some water. But trust me, you likely will not be as lucky as I was.
And I will say, like I said, I learned that lesson the hard way because I went to my very first con with 1 cosplay. Yeah, that was I learned that the hard way. And I will also admit that one of my favorite cosplayers at my first con, it loves to emphasize the fact that Axe body spray is not a substitute for showering. Especially if you know you're going to be wearing those heavy ones, you really need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself because trust me, I have been to a convention where, like I said,
We're not trying to call nobody out.
No.
Yeah.
But it's a real thing. It's out there. Just make sure to do it. It's not for yourself. Do it for everybody else. Please.
Real quick.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say with footwear, safety versus fashion, pull 2 pairs of shoes if you need to do a photo shoot, but like don't be rolling ankles if you gotta be standing in line for blocks and blocks. Have 2 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also want to add something. There's actually workout panels at BlurryCon. There's also panels where there's dancing involved.
Okay.
So that's why it's very, very important to practice good hygiene. Even just doing physical activity, just walking around the con a lot, you'll be sweating, even though it's still 40-something degrees outside.
Exactly.
Alright, moving along. Yeah, like 25 minutes. Okay, who's doing budget? Is that?
I'll do budget.
Yeah, right.
So who's ever budgeted before?
Glad to know you guys are very careful with your money.
That is very important. Budgeting is very important, and it's not the easiest because there's a lot of impulses, a lot of that what's that word?
Temptations.
Not
Temptations.
Temptations. You just like, oh, I gotta get this.
There you go.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Think about it for the next 2 days. If it just gets away from your brain, then you actually don't need it. So how you budget is you just look at the past, like how much money you spent for the hotel. So what I do is I split between fixed and variable expenses. So let's say you want to budget, let's say $500. I just threw a number out there. All right. So maybe the con costs what, $80. I forgot how much a con costs here. So put that there. 500 minus 80, we'll get 420. And then you have to take into account transportation. Put that there. You have to take into account if you're going to stay at a hotel, the total price there as well. And they add up very fast. So because of the I word, inflation, it's going up. Everything's going up. And what's important to help you with the budget is if you book early for a room, you can actually save.
Yes.
All right. If you wait until the last minute, not only is it going to get expensive, but it's going to be very hard to find a room.
It's sold out.
Everything will be sold out. So some can take more than a year to budget, so you have to save up. How I tell people is take a certain percentage after you get a paycheck, so you can build that war chest, or you can put in an X amount every week, every month, etc. A lot of times it's not $500 anymore. I budgeted $1,200 for Katsukan. The last con from last month, I only spent I think $900. You want to have that kind of cushion, and since we're all human, sometimes you may go a little bit over. You want to have an item where it says miscellaneous. God forbid something happens. That's like your little emergency fund. So God forbid something happens. I had 2 friends who went to the emergency room last year during the con. So you want to be prepared for that. And you have, and as I said, we save up for essentials as well. And also autographs and merch can be expensive as well, especially if you do autographs and selfies. So watch out for that.
Alright, next, make plans this year.
Right. One thing I cannot. Oh, sorry. Was there a question over there? Yes. What was the question?
Well, it wasn't really a question, it's also sometimes you can get really lucky last minute and get a really cheap hotel, because I got home during like 1
Exactly. You can get lucky so long as you keep looking. Now that we cannot stress this enough. You need to make plans. If there is a schedule on a con, study that schedule like you were studying for a test. Even if you might hate thinking about school in general. I remember my first time back in North Carolina doing animation. Not only did the schedule itself kind of confound me, but at the very least made sure that I attended at least a few events per section. Make sure it's also good whether that schedule is physical or digital. If you make a checklist, what do you think you can attend each day versus what you don't think you can attend. And by doing so, you can make sure that you get at least a few things in, especially if you see something super good in the early day versus in the evening. It's usually better in general to plan ahead, especially if you happen to see any kind of panels in the mornings that you may have to force yourself to wake up early for. Like in particular, I remember the few times I done cosplay chess back in animation, have to wake up at around 6:30ish in the morning to make sure I eat and then get to the convention center.
All right, so LearnCon has guidebook. It's in the guidebook app, so you can actually download it to your phone. And when you do your schedule, it'll give you a reminder to set yourself maybe 15 minutes. So that's number one. And number two, I do have to criticize the concert a little bit. They actually did not have the maps at the time, except for the vendors. So sometimes if they lack that kind of information, you may have to find that information on your own. And also, you can also contact the con as well. Finally, they actually did it a few days before the con started. So you have all the maps now.
Alright, so we gotta move on.
Oh wait, hang on. There's a question over there.
We gotta move on because it's we got 20 minutes. We got a questions section at the end. So you're gonna be first.
Just make sure we go through this.
Alright, so when it comes to setting up hotel rooms, you want to essentially, if you know you're gonna get a few people together, it's good to make sure you have rules set. You want to make sure you look up the hotel and other choices in the area. And like I said, once you figure out how you got it booked, you want to make sure you have your money saved up, like we were talking about with budgeting and everything.
Avoid hot water. Avoid it.
Alright, if you do have roommates, make sure you want to have them give the money to you up front, because you don't want to find yourself, you're like, even if you got like you're very close friend to be like, hey, I got you, I'll get you by the time before the con's over, and next thing you know, they skipped out on time to you, you got yourself the whole bill to yourself, and it's happened. Unless you actually allow yourself to actually, you're gonna willingly let yourself have other folks to share your room as one thing, because some people will do that. But it's always good to make sure you have, if you're gonna split your room rate to somebody, have them give you the money before the con. And then also make sure you set rules, because like I said, every one of the folks have their own way of living their lives and everything. And you want to make sure, like, whether you have your own space designated, or just to make sure that, like, hey, make sure if you're gonna be like doing stuff, like, you're not just, because you may not want to see your roommates walking around with nothing on around. Like, kind of make sure you all have an understanding to make sure that you all understand how you all want to go about when staying in the room together. And try to make sure you're rooming with people that you're more comfortable with. It's best not to go with doing strangers and other things that you just never know.
Alright.
Isaac, you want to talk about split space?
Yep. Oh, yeah, we'll split it up.
Yeah.
Alright, get a lay of the land first. Maps are a bonus. And as we said earlier, it's recommended that you go on a free coffee tour without the crowds if you're allowed. Yeah, we have really move along here. Go ahead, one of y'all.
Sometimes it can. Sometimes going to a con by yourself can be all right, but it's definitely a lot more fun when you have some friends with you. Especially when you're by yourself, it is not a bad idea at all to speak up if you happen to see someone who you think might share the same interests with you. Especially considering you're all at this con, you all like the same stuff. It couldn't hurt to ask a question. Especially considering when I ran into these two for the first time, I was simply sitting in the line. I asked a question and we hit it off pretty quickly. Especially when they came to me later and actually comforted me over some issues I was having.
Use the buddy system.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
Communication.
Communication
That's
is
the
key.
next slide.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure that you're approached or hassled by someone you feel uneasy about. Let staff know, because like I said, we should be here having fun. We should not be having to worry about folks making us feel uneasy one way or another. Because, like I said, we want to make sure where everyone's having a good time. But you also make sure you keep yourself safe no matter what.
Oh yeah, if you see something, say something.
You want to make sure you know how to have an escape tactics too. So.
Screaming works.
Yeah.
Alright, ask to take photos. Do not photobomb. Yeah, that's the Deadpool cosplayers tend to do that sometimes. Do not take pictures without permission. If you want to take pictures of kids, if their parents are present, ask them. And be careful with the flash. Some people may not like it, or they're epileptic or prone to seizures. Dangers.
And also we cannot stress this enough. Do not glomp other people.
I was a
Don't
victim.
do that.
I'll make it quick. So my friend glomped me just when like that. I fell and my wig came off.
Ouch.
That's a short story.
Considering if you're Ruby being glomped by Penny, you know how heavy Penny is as a robot?
And again, we cannot stress this enough. Do not glomp someone, especially if you do not know that person.
Yes.
It is like
especially
some-
if you don't know that person.
It's just like that. Oh, yeah, I just put this in this year. Yeah, if you're on a boat, and you got somebody running at you, yeah, you might want to duck. Alright, do not, and I know I put emphasis on the first three letters, or symbols. Do not assume cosplay means in character or consent. It does not, cosplay does not equal consent. Just because someone is in cosplay does not mean he or she is in character. I'm rarely in character. And also, don't trash or judge based on race, gender, body, or the like. I mean, there's enough of that. Like, there's enough of that happening outside of the con, you know? Just just don't do it.
And the other thing, please don't go too wild on going about it, and not just like with the party. I mean, don't try to be that one person who wants to be a jerk to everybody, like pull the fire alarm and trigger thing. No, you don't, because we don't need it. You don't need it also cause any kind of riots or
Yeah.
anything. Hey, like I said, we already got enough problems. That's not to bring them to the con.
That's
Drama
fair.
out the window.
Please,
Drama out the window.
I'm gonna add, yeah, I need to add this, like, if you wanna cause a riot, go to Philly. Because the Eagles fans know how to cause a riot whenever they win the Super Bowl. They did it this year. They flipped cars over and whatnot. I mean,
They still don't like them.
yeah, they climbed light poles and all that. Go to Philly for that.
No. Let me just share this one experience quickly. So, our one of our local cons, Deco Con.
Oh, yeah?
We have the way the convention center is. They have these big old large. It's like a large canopy connected to these wires. Someone decided it was going to be a fun idea to climb on the wires to get all the way up to the top.
Like Spider-Man.
And yeah, that person got banned.
Yep.
But please, even if it looks like an interesting idea,
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Oh, and don't steal. Do not fight. And then what was that last one there? Oh, don't leave a mess in any rooms. Like, the thing about stealing and fighting, you could go to jail. Yeah,
leaving a mess in your room, you're not gonna find the stuff. I actually lost 3 things because of that.
well, don't leave a mess in public rooms too.
Exactly.
oh yeah.
Post-con.
Yeah, we gotta roll through this
Yes.
one. Good.
So, networking. So, it's not just also having fun, it's also connecting with other people. So, you can connect with each other for the similar fandoms. Also, exchanging ideas. Okay, you can exchange skills. And if you're looking for a career in this kind of a community or whatnot, maybe a voice actor, being an artist, you can actually speak with other vendors, you can exchange information, and it could get you more opportunities. So if you've met people you've really clicked with during the con, stay in touch with them. So you can use social media handles, subscribe to the channels, or get their digits or their phone numbers. But please do not spam them.
Yep.
All right, respect their space too.
All right.
And like,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
Go.
Like I said, ease it back into your routine. I mean, yeah, you don't want to just jump right back into your everyday life right after the con. It's a recommended that you do not only take off maybe 1 or 2 days before you go back, but have to make sure you get yourself recharged because it's like I said, there is post-con depression is a thing. Unfortunately, but it's always good to make sure you get yourself adjusted.
Your next questions are at the end.
Yeah.
So you and then you.
Like I said, granted, I know that's not going to be easy for everybody. So some of us, we only got a certain amount of time. We got to go back to our jobs, But make sure you just at least allow yourself a chance to, kind of let it. Even if you only got like half a day, just kind of let yourself sink back in, and just gradually get yourself a chance to allow yourself to go back into your normal routine.
All right. Conclusion. What should you expect? What tips will you use? And what are the most common dangers you think you will face, my bad. So you gotta, as you clear my throat. So like, as you go through this weekend or next con, just think about these questions. And also have fun. Now we're
let's
open to.
let's start with the questions.
Wait.
You right there. Go ahead.
Hang on, I gotta let people know how much time we got left.
It's 10:41.
So we got 9 minutes because he signaled the 10.
Yeah, so we have about 9 minutes.
So like he was first, the guy in the green, and then the guy in the headband was second. You first.
Alright, so my question is real quick. So, in terms of the schedule, like, if for whatever reason, like a particular form gets canceled or moved, what are some of the ways in which it's communicated to everybody?
It's like you said, especially with this con, the guidebook, they do regularly update things on a regular basis. So like I said, if there's any cancellations or whatnot, And if you need to, connect with their social media as well, because sometimes they will also post updates as well. And unfortunately, things do happen. We also have to be ready for the accept the fact that things happen. People have lives. People things are going to happen. So it's just that's the time to just prepare yourself as best as possible, but also realize things do happen.
His got moved twice.
Also, if the venue you're going to happens to have any heads-up displays, check those constantly, because sometimes they will also have alerts on.
Have a plan B also.
All right, now that guy over there.
Well, yeah, homeboy right there.
I've never heard the term first con compression. Can you elaborate? Is it like the joy from the cons, like since they're away from the con, compressed?
Yes.
Is it like a
Yes,
time?
Yes.
Exactly what that is.
I got this one. So like post-con depression, so like you're having a good time. You start out on Thursday, Friday, you're excited to enjoy yourself, and then you're at the high on Saturday, and then come Sunday, you start feeling down because you're about to miss the con and everything, and then when the day ends on Sunday, you're just downright miserable. That is post-con depression.
And not necessarily everyone is going to feel that, because, like I said, some folks, like I said, it's not going to affect everybody. And everyone feels it in different ways too. So, like I said, some people are able to just easily just go like snap back to reality just like that. But sometimes some folks, it takes a while to kind of be like, okay, I've been through the excitement, I've got to experience all this, but it's like, oh wait, now I have to go back to my regular job, and like, real life is back.
All right. Any other questions? Oh, right there.
So this is a question, just a statement, regarding hotels, first things first, once the con, and once you pay for the hotels, be ready, because like a lot of cons, CoxCon,
Yep.
those rooms will be gone in like minutes. They will be gone.
Yep.
And also another thing too, which has helped me, get onto a hotel's rewards program, especially once you start going to like the same brand hotels. So like, I'm you know, I've been to a lot of them, but I've managed to stay at Marriott's a lot, so I'm just like, let me get onto the Marriott reward program, and you know, you get points, you get some status, especially, and you know, this doesn't have to be convoluted, just work with it, vacation with it, you know, stuff like that. So it adds up, it really does, because nice, you know, there's some perks, you know, it's really, really good. And another thing too, in case you can't get the con hotel, do not book third party for another hotel.
No hot wire.
That has happened to me.
Book directly with the hotel.
Yep.
Book directly.
No hot wire, because hot wire, they do that blind booking. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up in a crappy hotel.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
Any other
All right.
questions?
I know. All right, one more question, because we got 5 minutes.
I will say that also with hotels, if you do book third party, look at the reviews, because I almost got stuck
Yep.
with a hotel where they're doing construction starting at 6 a.m. Check the recent reviews, because I picked it because it has a pool, nice, but I looked at the recent reviews, construction, that's at 6 a.m. all day.
All right,
Just
so
check that.
we got closeout questions here. All right, information where to find me. My Instagram is Zoe Wheeler, but I am in the process of re-downloading my Kik account. That's a KIK. That's like a private messaging app, because I'm trying to get rid of my social media, because I'm getting tired of the drama of that. So once I get my Kik account started, I'll announce on Instagram, and everybody can either sign in, create their account, talk with me if they got any comments, questions, all that stuff. And then you can also contact me via fanfiction.net, which is under Witch Night Daisy. That's where fanfiction is. But you'll have to have an account again to do fanfiction.net and Fiction Press. My original stories are on there under Zoe Zarelda. Also, my first chapter of my novel series that I'm working on, Fortune Truth Volume 1, it's on Fiction Press. So I invite y'all to check it out. It's based off of, centers around a group of like magical, it's a magical girl genre, except they're adults. So like, and also it's not just magical girls. There are a couple guys as well. So it's kind of like the whole Sailor. It's inspired by Sailor Moon. So I worked on so it's an inspiration of mine. It's inspired by Sailor Moon and Wheel of Fortune, basically. Alright, unfortunately, this is my only panel. However, here are my partners' panels. So, Dean, you go first because yours is next.
That's mine is Con Survival. That is the advanced level of this panel. So this one is your introductory. But in Con Survival, I will go over more details on how to be basically a convention expert. And that will be at the same room at 1 p.m. And this is 1 p.m. until 2:20. So it's a little longer because we're going to dig deeper into it.
Yep. And then next.
And then I have a panel for the adults later tonight over at Tidewater 2. It is a not safe for work anime game show, and like I said, for the person who asked earlier about have things didn't change, my panel actually got switched around so many times because originally they scheduled me for 10 o'clock in the morning. Don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
Then they finally got me switched to night, but then they put me in the Hyatt, and then
Hilton.
the Hilton. Then they finally brought me back to here. Wait, we gotta put you for a later time. So, but always just make sure you keep things updated. But yeah, tonight is 11 to 12:20 at Tidewater 2.
All right,
So
and
if
then-
you want to check it out, come on out. It's gonna be fun
Oh, and real quick,
for the adults.
who's 18? Who's 18? Who's 18? Raise your hand. 18 years old. Who's 18? Everybody, it's 18 plus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Raise your hand if y'all 18. That's what I'm saying. So everybody's 18 in here. At least. Okay, so y'all qualify. It's a joke. That's what I'm saying. Y'all qualify to be in there. Cause I'm gonna be cosplaying Belle for that panel actually, and he's gonna be my beast in Ivan Robotnik. Yeah, I mean, like my beast. Yeah, cause like my beast didn't make it, so like I had to make do. So anywho, so that was it. So I'll hopefully see y'all at 1 o'clock.
Thank you all for coming.
That was more fun than I thought, actually. That was really fun. That was really good.
Zoe, did you want me to be able for any of the other panels?
You're welcome. I can invite you to speak as well.
I'll see if I can come back around for the advanced one. I'm not sure.
We'll do similar to how we did it. I think this method actually works because it makes it very spontaneous.
Exactly.
Yeah. And plus we have another 30 minutes.
That is true.
So that's I'm really excited about it. Thank you for inviting me also.
Inviting you.
Yeah, that was so.
For your panel.
Thanks for that. This was
Yeah,
super fun. All right. I'm gonna go look around the con for a bit and also actually find the guy to go.
We'll
I
catch
gotta
up
take
later.
my I gotta take.
Don't forget your belongings.
Yeah, take us to the hotel.
Yeah, that's my story too. Yes. Yep.
Alright.
This is their stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, see you at 1.
Got it.
Oh, wait.